Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. We cannot share information from floor to floor in this building because it's stored on dozens of different technological systems that are inaccessible or incompatible.
Brothers and sisters, why am I playing this video right off the bat? And, 9/11, is that something that you never heard of before and you don't know the outcomes of that? And exactly why we're bringing it up on this show specifically. Welcome to Alex Sass Show here at the Glen Zone with Glenn Herring, Andre, and Ramon. And the reason why we're bringing this up, because there's a generation of people that no longer remembers. We don't know what happened 20 years ago. They try to persuade you and gaslight you about the things that happened that day or yesterday. This is 20-year-old, even more than 20-year-old ordeal. But why is it important? Why this particular rabbit hole is important to us now? Because it's always been, and nothing has ever changed. Why is it escalating now? Well, maybe of information technology, maybe of some other reasons. Maybe it's because we're getting closer to the reset. It's actually, let me ask the panel, guys, what's up? How you doing? Why you think it's important still to remember? Not just important, of course it's important still, but why is this subject is so quickly forgotten by our younger generation? As a matter of fact, Ramon, this is a question to you. How much do you know about 9/11 and specifically what Rumsfeld just said? Do you know that video that I showed you? What does it refer to?
No, I don't have I do know what happened with 9/11 and this whole conspiracy of being a hijack and a plane crashing, but it definitely didn't go that way. I believe there's more people that believe that it was a completely inside job than what they try to portray to the media.
What we're going to do today is we're going to show the people what you thought was really, really true is ended up being really, really false. And it's going to be right in front of your eyes. And we're going to have all the proof you need to help you to start waking up about what's going on right now, too, in the world.
By the way, brothers and sisters, there's so much information out there. So if we just start to do the whole 9/11 show, it will last for 12 weeks at least, and we'll still run out of time to talk about things. So the rabbit hole that I like to enter and ask quick questions about is Building 7. That's the building that wasn't hit by Project Bluebeam specifically. Because, we think that might have been a hologram because blah, 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 whatever. Again, it's not what I want to get into in terms of the original buildings, the Twin Towers being hit with the planes. But the other building, Building 7, that went down as well. As a matter of fact, the video that we just showed you was Rumsfeld, confessing to Congress that they lost about $2.3 trillion of taxpayer money. And the reason why they lost it is because, the most technologically advanced industry in the United States, military-industrial complex, and we know that the most, we can take all the stealth planes that have been around for many ages, and they only released that technology 20, 30 years after they already used it for whatever malicious purposes they wanted to use, is an example of that. So they do not have technology to keep accounting, though, in order. That's impossible. They don't have that. But he lost 2.3, him and the whole Pentagon thing lost $2.3 trillion worth of your taxpayer money. And where was it redirected to? And the next day, conveniently, one of the planes with a terrorist in them hits that wing of the Pentagon where those documents are located, and it's all conveniently gone. What else was located in that plane hit? Andre, what was in the World Trade Center?
7?
Well, no, in general, what was in the World Trade Center?
Most people don't even know that there's 3 buildings that came down, right? They only think of the Twin Towers, and they don't understand that.
It wasn't in the official report. Tower 7 not a mention. Philip Zelikow, that whole commission that was set up, just looking into that guy is a story in and of itself. Tower 7. At the same time, there was this led to Sarbanes-Oxley as far as World Trade, not World Trade, Enron, Adelphia. A bunch of companies were known for having cooked the books in the early 2000s. And in that Tower 7, there was FBI and other intelligence services where they were handling this investigation into, and I'm more specific into Enron because that's the one I tangibly know as far as the contributors to the Republican campaigns and politicians. So they might have been into the know as far as the scam that happened with Enron. Those CEOs and executives were actually jailed and whatnot. Sorry. And so yeah, when that building went down, so did all the prosecution efforts to try and nab and show a little bit what happened throughout this these billions of dollars of fraud. And that's separate to what you're talking about, which is the Pentagon and the wing that was hit by that what seems to be a missile out of the only video they made public out of hundreds of cameras that were available. Hitting the wing of the audit that was happening, tracing these trillions of dollars that were just announced the day before by Rumsfeld. Those two magically disappeared that day with that tiny little hole in the Pentagon with not one plane engine, no fuselage, no nothing, no black box found on site.
Yeah, they say that the plane hit with such speed that it just disintegrated on impact. Like that really happens today. You know, the stuff that they tell people. They can tell people all what they want. It's what people choose to believe. If you actually believe something like that, then you're relinquishing your responsibility to yourself. I mean, they'll just tell you to jump through hoops like training a dog or something like that.
I think we're reintroducing 9/11 because that's part of our generation. The previous one was JFK, and look how they just reclassified the JFK assassination because it would show who's on the hook for that. And what I believe they have in common is that we saw something with our eyes and they needed a narrative to go through, and just through programming and repetition made people believe in something that their eyes was showing them the opposite. Same thing with COVID as far as the deaths, hospitalizations. It was less than 1%.